Then all the gods started, I don't know why, they started having this game like, trust me, you hit him with anything, he won't die one. Then started like, throwing this throwing that at him Then like, everybody like, true like, not hurt not injured anything, Then Loki like, in his trickster mode again, he like, confirm got something wrong here one.
And welcome to our coffee shop. I'm your host, Leon, and welcome to another episode of the KopiBros show presented by the Chit Podcast Network. Now, for those of you that are tuning in by YouTube or any sort of podcasting platform, hi again. Thanks so much for giving us a try, for giving us a listen. We're just a Singaporean duo that are going to learn more about Loki boy, the trickster. Once again, I'm joined by our own Loki fanatic, Jing Yong. Jing Yong, how are you doing?
I am doing... Actually, I'm quite tired this week. I don't know why.
Brother, I have an event at my workplace. Right? I'm so tired.
I tell you, I've been rushing stuff because next week is my reservice. Then it's like, wow.
Oh.
Then it's like almost every day got something to clear. Then I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's draining, right? Like, do you wake up very early in general?
Yes, because I got a part-time job that needs me to translate news in the morning.
Okay. So what time do you normally wake up actually?
6:30. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, tiring lah. It's tough, man. do you feel like your body clock is affected in general?
Okay, on weekends, right, I very rarely can sleep until like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. wake up one. I'll wake up at like 6:30 and 7. Then I'm like, oh, today's a Saturday. Then I'm like lie back on my bed. I'll roll around for a while. Then I go back to sleep. Then I wake up. Oh, it's 8, like 9. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you sloth for a while, or like just a bit more.
Yeah.
But if you're watching this and then you've seen our thumbnail, you'll know that this week we're going to be talking about Loki. Yeah. And the reason why is because this week Loki season 2 actually comes out. Do you watch the first season actually?
I actually watched. I didn't want to, but my brother forced me to watch with him, and I have to begrudgingly say I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, okay. It's not too bad, right? Like
it's not too bad, yeah.
Yeah, at times it does get a bit slow and then it's a bit convoluted. Yeah, but then I think once they dive into the, how to say, the part where you get to meet all the different Lokis, right, and stuff like that, then it starts to get quite fun, like the boy Loki, and stuff like that, or the alligator Loki. This is a continuation of our mythology series. Previously, we did episode covering Japanese mythology. Also, we did, in the first series, we did Greek mythology. Overall, it's a very informative episode where we learn about different cultures and how the gods are treated overall. You can compare like Japanese culture, they treat them differently as compared to Greek mythology. And I feel that this mythology in specific, right, Norse mythology, is a bit different because it is appreciated in pop culture today still. Do you know what I mean? The most, I would say, correct? Yeah, and I think largely it's attributed to all these like Thor. I mean, it's in Thor, like Marvel, all the like Assassin's Creed. They got a Valhalla game, Vikings, the show and stuff like that. Yeah. So for you personally, right? Actually, do you feel that it is like one of your favorite mythologies for you, or is it you find it's like no?
No, I feel that it's one of my favorite mythologies because I find, putting the Ragnar Lothbrok that stories aside, I think. The story in Norse mythology is so it's so simplistic and sometimes so brutally brutal and honest. It's like they settle things are not like Greek mythology, like narcissistic, they must like backstab, they must like do a lot of affairs. To them it's like I kill.
Yeah. Correct.
Simplistic, very vulgar but very to the point.
Yeah, it's very like there's a reason why that there's a barbaric tone to the way that Vikings behave. Do you know what I mean? Like it's very, I'm doing whatever I want, and then after I'm using force to get what I want. Do you know what I mean? It's like a very it's a very like I'm the bigger person, therefore I should be able to get what I want. It's very like that, and then that's why I think that Loki has become so popular because he stands out in the Norse mythology because he's more of a trickster.
He reminds me a bit of someone like a kid that cannot grow up but has no consequences one. As in the consequences. Later I'll talk about it. He ultimately only suffered from one ultimate consequence, which is Ragnarok.
Yes. That's the only one.
His pranks, however little or non-little it is, he hardly had to suffer the consequences for it.
the depictions of like Thor and Loki in pop culture is completely different from the original source material, right? Correct. Like the how they are
Quite
actually
different.
supposed. Yes.
Quite different, yeah. I mean,
And
you
their
don't have
looks
to look.
also correct.
Yeah. So
Their
you don't
looks
have to
also.
look far. You just have to look at the Marvel depiction.
Mhm.
I think the Marvel depiction of the like Thor and Loki are very different in the sense that number one, Thor in the mythology is not as interesting as he is like in Marvel lah.
Mm.
Actually, Thor can be in Norse mythology. He's a bit rash. He's a bit like no brain one. All the power go to the muscle that kind.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
bit like Hulk.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas for Loki, right, in the mythology, you can really sense that he really don't care about consequences. Then he's really just like how to say, he destroy things for the sake of destroying things. So sometimes it's for a better result, sometimes it's for a not so good result. Then I think it's very different from how Marvel layered him to become an evil person, which is very
Yes.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like the direction they took it in the series where they gave his character layers, and a lot of these layers is like based on his character in the mythology and in the Marvel series, right? You can actually see that it makes sense one.
Even though that's not how it's traditionally portrayed, right, Loki, it's
Yeah.
still very like well done lah. Like the plot arc that they went through and stuff like that is very interesting. And I also think like Tom Hiddleston, right, he's a good actor overall lah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, and I think also he's a lot of like Marvel people's fan favorite. Do you know what I mean? Like for a lot of people, they're like, oh, my favorite character is Loki. So for this week, right, you're going to be telling us 3 different stories, and then we're going to learn more about Loki. Okay, with that, let's get right into the episode.
Loki.
All right. Now, Ting Yong, as the Loki specialist, right now, we're going to pass the floor to you. You're going to tell us 3 different stories about Loki, correct?
Yep. Okay, so let me refer. My first story is about the. We always start each mythology series with a creation myth, and this one we cannot run away from it because we have. I think the creation myth is crucial to us understanding how did Loki end up in Asgard with the gods. Although
Correct.
actually by birth he's a giant.
Yeah.
And then the creation myth is also important for us to know why is there an ongoing feud between the gods and the giants. Legend has it that before there was anything, the Earth was just divided into the whole universe was divided into 2.
Okay.
One is of extreme cold, one is of extreme heat. Of course, these 2 areas have Norse names, which I'm not going to say because I cannot pronounce it.
Okay.
Then, they have this very don't know what. Okay, so these 2, extreme heat and extreme cold, right? They came and intersect at one place, and then they just form this being, or the ancestor of all giants and ancestor of all like human and gods, right? Called Ymir. Ymir. I don't know how to pronounce that.
It sounds like Thor's hammer. That's Yomir. That's Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Okay. It sounds similar lah. Yeah.
So this is Ymir. He is the first so-called being that will soon give birth to all the giants and all the other people lah.
Okay.
So this Ymir, right, very weirdly, like the first generation of giants were born from his 2 armpits. So one a woman, one a man. And then his 2 legs, I don't know, like snake like that, they say intertwine and then come out with a 6-legged or 6-handed, don't know what creature. Yeah, so this was the very, very first generation of people the generation of gods or giants that came from this creation universe.
Okay, wait. So you're saying that the armpits form the gods, gods and the giants.
Yeah, male and female giants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not the gods.
Not the gods.
Okay, just giants. So giants came before the gods.
Yes.
Okay, then that's interesting. I did not know that. Okay, then after that, from his feet came the snakes lah.
Yeah.
Serpents.
Snakes, like a 6-legged or 6-headed, don't know what thing.
Okay, but it's like a snakish thing lah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not important because what was important is that, you know, I just want to say, right, the extreme heat and extreme ice came and formed intersection, then came out. There's this Ymir, this all, you can say, ancestor or giants.
Mm-hmm.
It also formed another holy cow, literally called holy cow, called Autumn lah. Authulma. I don't know how to pronounce that also. So why do I say this is a holy cow? Because this is a cow that you know, the milk from it, right, was the one that actually fed this
The giants.
Ymir. Yeah, the all giant. Yeah. So
Okay.
he actually drank from the TATS, tits from the cow lah, not TITS. Yeah. So this cow very funny one because his or her everyday nutrient, right, is taken from him just licking the ice that formed from the two intersection ma. So
Okay.
he just keep licking the ice, then like take all the salt and all the nutrients, right? Until one day he lick out this this giant called Bor, BOR. Yeah.
Crazy.
So I don't know how that happened. He just lick, then he just think, oh, suddenly got this giant come out. Then like, day 1, the hair come out. Day 2, the face come out. Then day 3, then like, the whole giant come out.
Okay. It's
So,
okay.
Bor, this person, is the grandfather of Odin.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so he married a giant, okay, called Bestla, Bestla, I think. That was his grandmother lah. So Odin himself is actually half a giant.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was only during Odin's time, right? He decided to so-called create his own generation of people called the gods lah.
Okay.
So he and his two brothers, Vili and Ve, VE, one is called VE, one is called VILLI. These were the 3 children. That means he and his 2 brothers were born from his father, and then his grandfather is Bor lah.
Okay.
Okay, so why was these 3 of them so crucial, right? It's because one day these 3 of them just decided we want to kill this Ymir, YMIR.
Okay.
So they succeeded, you know. They just, I don't know what they take. They go kill him. And then that was how the earth was created. Okay, because like, for example, his eyebrow become Midgard. Then I don't know, his blood become the river.
They broke him open and after it formed earth lah.
Correct. Yeah. So it's a bit like the Chinese 盘古开天, or like they say some in the Brahmanism, the mythology also got a bit of like this person sacrificed himself, then parts of him became the universe and whatnot lah. Okay, but they were important and they were worshipped by the humans because after killing this Ymir, right, they actually decided to create humans.
Okay.
Yeah. So like his brother shaped some wood from the tree, and then I think Vili, I forget. I think he took the tree trunk and then cut something out in a piece of a human. Then Vili like breathed life into the tree trunk, and then Ve so-called give the humans a soul. And that was how the first humans were created.
Okay.
So how does that link to what happened to Loki and what happened to Odin? Okay, this is the part until today I don't really understand, because there's a lot of like debates going on lah, because the records were very shady also about how this thing happened. But my own belief and my own speculation through the reading of the materials is that the giants took offense because they think that these gods people, right, killed their ancestor. So they started a war in between the giants and the gods lah. And then one version said that Loki was like an abandoned baby, and then Odin so-called took him out from the battlefield and then took him back to Asgard lah, to be his son or brother lah, which I don't think makes sense, because if you read the Norse mythology, right, actually Loki is like the brother of Odin, and they are like same level one. So he's actually the senior of Thor. The Chinese called 辈分. In terms of seniority, yes. In terms of seniority, yes.
But not birth lah.
In terms of age lah. So the version I subscribe to is that the two sides fight and then decided to come to a so-called temporary truce. So they actually sort of exchanged hostages lah. So Loki was the giant representative that came to live with the gods, and then the gods also sent one of Odin's brothers to go live in the land of the giants.
Okay. It's like a fair, like a truce
Yeah. So that to me makes more sense, because that was how Loki got away with some of his mischief ma. Because you will never want to make life difficult for this person. If not, you will start an ongoing war with the giant again. Is my first story of how Loki ended up in Asgard.
Okay. So you feel that it's mainly because of a truce, then after that Loki was swapped.
Yeah. This is a very well-known
theory,
political technique lah. Yeah, I think in ancient China, when they wanted to so-called have temporary peace, right, you will see them marrying their daughters over to some of the tribal places in the north, this kind of thing. Or like they will trade, I don't know, their son will suddenly need to go there to study 2 days, 2 years, this kind of thing. Yeah.
Correct.
So it's quite often seen. Yeah. My next story is about Thor's 3 illegitimate children.
Thor's?
Yeah, sorry. Loki's 3 illegitimate children.
Okay.
Wapiang. Loki had an affair with this giant. I don't know how he did it. Affair with a lady there. And then the lady got pregnant and then had 3 kids. Okay, not kids, like 3, you can call them creatures or like beings. Okay, so one day, Odin, he sleep. Then he just woke up and he like saw a prophecy in his dream that Loki's children will one day cause the downfall of the whole Asgard.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So he panicked. So he got his guards to, hey, go bring these 3 kids to me. So the guards went to the land of the giants. He brought these 3 kids. So these 3 kids are not funny. They have very particular characteristics. Okay. One of them is Hel. Okay. Hel is this. In a lot of pictures, she's depicted as a little girl. Like half of her is like, wow, so beautiful and so pretty, right? Another half is like, wow, all the rotten, all the corpse and everything. Yeah. So like the characteristic of her is also very funny, and like she doesn't respond to taunts. She doesn't respond to like people laughing at her, and then she's just like quiet and like in her own world kind. So even even Odin was a bit creeped out by her. So he just decided that, okay, these 3, right, since they are going to cause the downfall of Asgard, I cannot keep them with me. I need to like send them to like far away. So he decided Hel will go to like rule over Hel, which is Hell . Although the daughter's name is called Hel. Okay, so she went happily to go rule Hel. Okay, the second son is called Fenrir, Fenrir.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a wolf that they decided, okay wolf very cute okay, won't do anything big one. So they kept like within Asgard, How they know the wolf like getting bigger and bigger and bigger every day, and then like the teeth start getting sharper and sharper. Then they started getting worried like, will this guy like eat us or what? So they tried a few times, right, to like to use use their ropes,
like a rope or a noose or something.
The ropes to so-called like, hey, we play this game we tie you up, you try. I tell you, I confirm you cannot break out one. So every time they tie him up for 3 times, he break out from it.
This is the same wolf that was in Thor Ragnarok, the movie, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Out of all these gods that had fun with him, he had the best relationship with this guy called Tyr, Tyr.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So one day, right, they decided that this wolf cannot live like alive any longer. They need to like so-called put him in his place If not, like they worried. So they got the dwarf, right, to make some magical rope that like on the outside look like just a normal rope, right? But the more you struggle, right, the tighter it will bind you.
Okay.
But of course, by now the wolf will know like the foreigner will know like, wow, you try to tie me up 3 times already, if not for the fact I got strength, you confirm like I confirm die already.
Some goofy thing.
Yeah. So they had to so-called lie to him to so-called tie him up So they went to Tyr and say, hey, you have to help us there. Then if not, he will like, you are the person that he trusts most. If not, he won't let us tie you up one. Okay. So this guy knowing that he will get sacrificed, right? He say, okay, for the better good of Asgard, I'll do it. So what he did was that he told the wolf, don't worry, when they tie you up, right, I'll put my arm in your mouth. If you decide anything is wrong, right, you can just bite my hand off. So true enough, he put his hand, the wolf like, okay I trust you Then he start tying him up. The more he struggle, right, the more like the thing get tighter and tighter. Then he realized he was tricked. So he bit off the Tyr's arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So by then, too late already. The gods gang against him and then took a sword, right, drive through his mouth and pin him to this stone, which he will stay there until the events of Ragnarok. So Loki's 3rd child is called Jormungand, Jormungand.
The world serpent.
Yeah, correct. He just decided, okay, this snake too big already. We throw into the sea. How he know the snake grows so big, right, that apparently, right, when he go one round, means when his mouth bite onto his tail, right, it's go one round around Earth.
Yeah, he's huge. Yeah.
He's huge, yeah. And he was prophesied to so-called he will go against Thor in the event of Ragnarok one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you've ever played God of War, the game, because God of War is at first is Greek mythology, right?
Yeah.
Then after that, they changed the series to he crossed over to Norse mythology.
Yeah.
There's a very famous scene in the first God of War in the Norse mythology one where he interacts with the world serpent lah. So it's that's why it's relevant to a lot of people now. So this world serpent.
This is quite similar to the concept of in Egyptian mythology, which I will touch on in the next series or the next series.
Yeah.
Because in Egyptian mythology, right, the sun god every day have to go through one cycle, 12 hours up the sky, 12 hours down the hell.
Yeah.
And then his job when he goes through hell, right, is to slay this sea serpent that will revive every day.
Oh, okay. So it's like a 9 to 5.
Yeah, correct, exactly. And then he's one of the most tiring gods, as in he has one of the most tiring jobs. Can you imagine 24 hours, you have to kill a serpent every night, and then when day breaks, you have to go up and then give sun to the whole earth,
Yeah. Plus he must be good. If one day got no sun, and we're like, the serpent finally got him. Yeah.
Okay, the third story, there's two parts to it. Because the first part will sort of answer how did Loki end up in how did Loki's banishment lead to Ragnarok lah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first part this thing called the mistletoe. Now it's like such a romantic thing, right? While you kiss under mistletoe, you become lovers for life, this kind of thing. Okay, but actually in Norse mythology, it's a very tragic thing, There's this god called Balder, Balder.
Yes.
Yeah, he's quite a beloved god lah. A lot of people love him, because he's a nice person and everything. But one day, right, Odin, in his sleep again, he has a prophecy that one day, this Balder will die of funny causes. So the mother and the grandmother all worried, so they start going around the everywhere lah. Tell everybody, this is my kind son. You have to, you have to agree that you all won't do harm to him. Then he went around literally all the grass, all the trees, all the gods, humans, he did that. And everyone promised them because Balder is a nice person. But she left someone out. She left this thing called a mistletoe. Because when she passed by, it's like, this thing so small, no need to say. So she just went off. So when the two of them think we cover all bases, are we very happy? Then they had a celebration, right? Then all the gods started, I don't know why, they started having this game Balder now, trust me, you hit him with anything, he won't die one. Then they started throwing this throwing that at him Then Then everybody true not hurt, not injured anything, Then it's getting more and more fun. Then Loki a bit, in his trickster mode again, he this one not fun I must find confirm got something wrong here one. He went in a guise of an old woman to Frigg, which is Thor's wife.
No, okay. If you say Frigg, right? Frigg is Odin's wife.
Yeah, correct. Okay.
Yeah. So it's Odin. It's Odin. Yeah, he's the son of Odin. Yeah, correct.
He went in the guise of an old woman to sort of ask Frigg are you sure you cover all bases? Then Frigg very confident. I said, yeah, I cover all bases except for the little mistletoe I think that one too small for us to bother with it. Of course, Loki, after finding out that the mistletoe is the only thing that can so-called bring harm, right? He brought the mistletoe back. I don't know why I have this impression that he attached this mistletoe to a dart. But apparently this part just say he took the mistletoe, right, and then gave to one of the blind gods called a Hother, Hother.
Okay.
Yeah, because he saw this blind god everybody having fun, then he being left out. So he fake kindness hey, why you don't go play? He's I cannot play I'm blind, I cannot throw. He said, never mind, I guide you. He guide him and say, hey, you see now in front of you, your brother Balder, you can take this mistletoe, harmless one, can throw. Then he really throw and then end up the mistletoe struck Balder and pierced him through and he fell down dead. I don't know how that happened. Because of this the gods all stunned then he died, really died, they couldn't revive him, they had to burn him, this kind of thing. After everything ended, right, the gods had to go back to the mistletoe, and make the mistletoe promise that you cannot do something similar again because of the effects you have done to Balder. Yeah, maybe because of that, the mistletoe is associated to kissing and romantic things because when Frigg was going around trying to persuade all the gods to so-called restore Balder to life, right, she had to ask them for favors by giving them kisses. I don't know how that worked.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
This was the incident that sort of the gods decided this is the last straw. We will just banish Loki to to forever banishment.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. So while he was banished, that's when he started to plot lah.
Yes. So his banishment is quite cruel one leh. Like he was tied to this like in this like cave lah.
Okay.
So the poison will sort of keep dripping on top, right? And then collate to a certain point. Then it was like drip onto his skin. The wife has to hold a bowl to make sure the poison don't drip onto him. But the bowl can only hold so much. So every now and then there'll be some poison that will overflow from the bowl and then
burn it to him. Okay.
Yeah. And then he will cry and like so-called scream lah.
Okay.
And then his cry and screams are what the Norse mythology believe are the cause of earthquakes. He will remain like that, stuck in this cave, being poisoned and then causing earthquake every now and then, until one day, right, Ragnarok will come.
Oh, okay.
And he will just break free, and then all his 3 children, like Hel, Fenrir, and like the Jormungand, the sea serpent.
Yeah.
They will lead their troops from the dead because Hel rule the Hel ma.
Yeah.
Then he will lead all these dead people to go to war against the gods and Valhalla. From what I know, the clash of the two sides, right, a lot of casualties. But it was significant because this clash actually sort of signaled the end of the gods era and so-called the start of the human era.
Okay. The death of the gods. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So this is the story of the 3 story of Loki lah. Of course, there are a few more lah, like how he turned into a fly and interrupted the dwarf's eye that make the Mjolnir the very short handle. That's also an interesting story. Compared to the story of like all these Norse gods, right? Actually, what I find more enjoyable is the story of the Norse humans.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, that is one. And then the story of who's that? Sigmund or Siegfried.
Okay, yeah.
The Dragon Slayer.
Okay. If you look at Norse mythology in general, it's very easy to like the human side of things because when you watch Vikings or this, right, you understand it's like they are very like battle born, and then like it's very like very ruthless and stuff like that lah. Yes, yeah.
Very vulgar also.
Yeah, very vulgar.
Sometimes I like that side of them. Like it's just very simple. Like we don't see eye to eye, we just fight.
Yeah.
And whoever win, then we take everything. Like
it's very like mano a mano. Then we just face off and stuff. Yeah. I think also in general, will you be watching Loki season 2?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait, man.
I hope. I really hope it's good because Marvel has been producing some shitty films the past few months.
Oh, it's been horrible. Do you watch the Ant-Man?
Yes. Okay. Luckily, I didn't watch it in theaters. I watched it when Disney Plus released it.
Oh, it's horrible, right?
Horrible. Like all the things that we found it fun in the first and second is just gone.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand what they're doing.
They jump the shark. They really jump the shark. And then also like how to say, like the best part of the whole movie, right, is the villain, which is like King the Conqueror, right? But they made him to be like such a woos. Like how can Ant-Man
so
be him
defeated?
Do you know what I mean? Like I didn't understand. And then also on top of that, I mean, they've been on a run of like a bunch of movies that I did not like lah. So I'm hoping that this series, and then also like the TV shows, right, they've been bad. So like the She-Hulk, and then the one after that, the Samuel L. Jackson one. Yeah, hopefully this Loki season 2 will be a good one. So we'll be both be watching.
Of course. I hope it's good.
Yeah, I hope it's good.
I really hope it's good.
I hope it's good as well. Okay. Overall, that was quite interesting and fun episode. Let's get. We'll dive into the second part of this series. Right, we'll learn more about like the Norse side lah. Then after like the Ragnarok and stuff like that. Yeah. All right. That was our Loki episode.
Get out of here.
Oh, look at the time. The coffee shop is closing. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed the episode, please remember to get a thumbs up and subscribe. We have episodes that drops every Monday. But in the same time, also, if you're into football, we have the Football Kaki that drops every Wednesday. And also, if you're into fun game show formats, you have the SG Draft podcast that drops every Friday. Also, if you're into fun tournament polls on Instagram, we have a tournament that comes out every week on Monday. It'll be related to this episode. We'll be probably doing something Norse related for the tournament over there. So if you're interested in that, right, head over to our Instagram. It's a concurrent knockout thing. So it's like Monday, then after you go to the quarterfinals and stuff like that. So it's every Monday to Thursday at 12 p.m. So head over to our Instagram to go and vote. Okay, In the meantime, we hope everyone is gonna enjoy season 2 of Loki. Hopefully, it doesn't suck because Marvel has been producing some shit recently. But in the meantime, a copy.
A copy a day keeps your trouble away.
Try
I
that
am
again.
Loki of Asgard and I'm burdened with glorious purpose. No?
Yeah, it works. Sure. That's a reasonable outro.